This is our movie room that is built over our garage and a bonus room. This was actually a pretty large space that we split in half and built our own wall here to split the arcade on the other side and the movie room on this side. This room is 14 feet wide, 21 feet long, and then 9-foot tall ceilings. The LED lighting is all through WLED. Some of you might be familiar with that, some may not, but it is kind of the DIY LED platform versus going some consumer ready like Gobi or Philips Hue. It takes some extra work, but it is cheaper in the long run and allows you definitely a lot more customization. I ordered light strips from Amazon, aluminum LED tracks to put the light strips in. That helps just diffuse the light, and also it helps with heat dispersion. To get these lights to run through the door, and it all acts as one continuous run, the LED runs through here, LED ends, and then I have wire splice that runs to the LED here, and then wire at this end that is wrapped back through the frame, and then as you can see right now it's just running up around the door frame. This will be covered with acoustic panels. Still in the process of building all those, but then it comes back into your continuous LED strip. This whole LED run is about 60 feet all the way around the room, so with that I did have to power it from both ends. That is something that is trickier to figure out, at least it was for me, never doing it before. I watched a lot of YouTube videos from other content creators and figure out how to correctly do this so I don't lose color or brightness at the end of the long run. We also have LED strips on the stairs, same thing, WLED. Each set of stairs on each side of the couch acts as its own run, but they are grouped together to do similar lighting effects. All these lights around the room can do multiple lighting effects. Any color you want, millions of colors, all sorts of designs. You can choose what you want, or there's a bunch of pre-made options of scenes you could call. And it also reacts to the sound if you want it to. Also the overhead lights, those are just some can lights we put in up in the ceiling. They are ran through a Lutron switch over here. So these acoustic panels are custom made. They're 2 inches thick. I'm using the Owens Corning 701 insulation and 2x4 sheets. Like I said, just custom made these boxes with just wood frames, 1x2s, and then put the Owens Corning inside of it, covered it in acoustic transparent black fabric that I got from Joann Fabric. I don't go there very often, but yes, went there to get a bunch of this black acoustically transparent fabric. And that is important. You got to have acoustically transparent fabric. You can't just use any fabric because you do want the sound to be able to get through the panel into the insulation. And then on the back side, you got about 1 inch of hollow space. The back of these panels are covered just with sheets from Goodwill. Extra cheap white sheets that we could cut up, staple to the back to help keep the insulation in there. That was all Morgan's idea, and that saves a lot of money. These acoustic panels can be very expensive, and if you need them to be custom shaped like how I have them here to go with the design of the room, it's best just to make them yourself. Now the acoustic panels aren't done yet. We got pretty much one wall done here. I still need to put a panel on the door, but these will continue all the way around the room. Now this wall here was the wall we built to separate the movie room and the arcade. This wall is done with 5/8 drywall on both sides, and then it has insulation inside the wall as well. It's not a soundproof room by any means. To really do that, you need to build a room within a room. Since this is just above our garage, and then I have the arcade on the other side, and then it's really just a bathroom on the other side of this wall here, we really had nothing butting up against this room that really mattered, that it needed to be quiet. So we were able, luckily, to save the money and not have to worry about making a completely soundproof room. So on the back, I have some GIK acoustic panels. Right now they're on the back before I continue my custom acoustic panels from the sidewall here, which will continue around the room. But I put these two on the back for now, and eventually I plan to put these two plus two more on the ceiling in here. This room seats 6, and we also have some big bean bags that we took out of the room just for this video to make it easier for us to walk around and talk about everything. But we have 2 of those, so you can easily seat 8. The back seating is just a couch that has 2 remote recliners and remote headrest, and that's just a couch that I had and used to have in my living room, but we got a sectional for the living room and I repurposed this to the movie room. Before this, I started with old movie theater seats, actually from a movie theater that shut down during the pandemic. The front seats here also are all automatic reclining headrest, and they have cup holders that pop out here. These I got just off of Facebook Marketplace. These seats aren't my final seats by any means. This is a never-ending hobby, so at some point, probably want to update these seats to make them match front and back. The design of the room, it's not a perfect room by any means. This is what we had to work with. Don't let anyone tell you you have to have some perfect room to have an awesome theater. You can make it work with any room. Right now, this is the room we had to work with. It has some different design elements that aren't ideal, but in the back here, this little area that butts into the room is actually the audio video closet that you access from the arcade on the other side of the wall. I just wanted to separate that so you couldn't hear any of the fans going in there. And it also adds a lot of heat to a room if you keep those in your movie room. On this side, I just built a little cubby space for blankets and pillows. So this is a Sony 4K HDR projector. It's the Sony 325 ES. At this point, it's a few years old. Of course, like I said, another component I'm sure I will love to upgrade at some point, but so far it's been an excellent projector. It's in just a custom built box for it up here, and it's open in the front and the back. This whole room is done with SVS Ultra speakers. This is their previous line of Ultra speakers. SVS has released their new Ultra Revolution line. These here are all in the piano gloss finish. Some people will take issue with that being piano gloss and not more of a wood or matte finish for light reflection, but I really enjoy this black piano finish and how it looks. I have LCRs up front here and also SVS SB3000 subwoofer. SVS has also now just launched a new version of that as well. I've been very pleased with all these SVS speakers and SVS as a company. I've went to a few of their shows. They actually sent me one of their plaques here just from seeing pictures of the movie room and talking with them about it. I think they're a great company and highly recommend. The surround speakers here on both sides are also SVS Ultra speakers. These speakers fire out of both sides here, which they don't really recommend for Dolby Atmos, but I've had no issue with them. I've tried them different ways, and I do like where I have them placed with the help of audio advice. It gives great surround sound to both the front and back row in this theater. And then in the back, we also have SVS Ultra bookshelf speakers. These are the rears. Still playing with where to correctly place those for this room. Kind of awkward shape of the room. I have to pull them forward for the closet here, these corners, so the sound doesn't reflect off the side of the wall. So up top, we have 4 Dolby Atmos speakers. These are the SVS elevation speakers. I have them all placed and angled at the general main listening position. Before this house, I have rented houses or townhomes, and I also use these speakers. I didn't put them on the ceiling, but they are very versatile because since they are angled the way they are, you're able to sit them on your front speakers where they can angle up and bounce off the ceiling to give you Dolby Atmos effects. That's not as effective as them being on the ceiling, of course. You can also place them on the front and back walls, hanging on the wall, angled down at the main listening position. But your absolute best way for Dolby Atmos is to actually have them up on the ceiling. We have another SVS SB3000 subwoofer in the back in the opposite corner of the one in the front. All right, so up front here, this screen is a silver ticket 120-inch screen. This screen has a gain of 1. and it is a white screen. This is just a fixed screen. It's actually over a window that was in this room that I insulated, and then I have black velvet on the back around the screen. You can see how the black fabric really helps absorb light. The projector image pops on the screen. So this paint is the Sherwin-Williams Tricorn Black and Matte. I went with this paint to help with light reflection from the projector screen. When I watch movies, we obviously don't have the lights on in this room, not even the side lights. So with the all black paint and the black velvet behind the screen, and then especially the black acoustic panels on the side, it really makes this a very dark room, so your only focus is on the screen in front of you. Now you can kind of see if you just look at this door here, this is that Tricorn Black paint. That's one of the darkest consumer ready paint, but as you can tell, even with the door here with that black paint compared to black fabric, the black fabric absorbs a lot more light. As we get the panel on the door and more acoustic panels around the room, it will get even darker. This riser, it is insulated, so it doesn't react like a drum. Again, this was all planned out with the help of Audio Devices theater design tool, and that's how I came up with the spacing to the front and the back row, from the back wall even, and the height of this riser. I also then sat in here, measured it myself to make sure that you can see the screen from the back row over the top of the front row. So I think overall this riser is 14 inches tall, and then you got your 7-inch steps, which is pretty close to your standard step height, and then we had lows coming here and carpet the whole thing. So this door is just a DIY project. You know, I got the idea from seeing other door panels for movie rooms, and they were about $2,000 to buy a prefab panel that looked about like this. So I decided to go my own route, went on Amazon and pretty much got 3 main components. The main thing is this diamond stitched red leather fabric. It's padded on the back. I wrapped a thin piece of plywood with that fabric and then tacked it to a solid core door. The porthole at the top is actually just a picture frame with a black sheet behind it to give it kind of that mirror effect. And then the door handle here, also ordered from Amazon, is actually like a barn door pull or a shower pull. All in all, just to put all that together was probably like $200 versus $2,000 to get a pretty similar outcome. Now, like I said, this is a solid core door that just helps with keeping sound in the movie room and sound from outside the movie room from coming in. All right, so now we're gonna go check out the home theater rack. So you come out here, this is the wall we built to split the arcade and the movie room. Here I got some movie posters that are in glow boxes. They're based out of Kansas City. These are great. You can get double-sided movie posters, put them in there, super thin. They light up well, awesome. We keep continuing down here into the arcade. Here is where the closet is. That was in the back corner of the movie room. I have a mid-Atlantic rack. Also got this off Facebook Marketplace. You can always find great deals there on the used market. This rack has fans up top to help circulate air. I also have fans in the middle above my receiver. And then there's fans in here. This was just an extra plate I had. I think this is for a PS4, but I don't have a PS4. But it came with the rack. There's fans in here for the monolith amplifier. So let's start from the top. In here we have Panamax MR4300. Below that, we have an Xbox One X, Apple TV, and then the Zedu. The Zedu is what I have been playing the demos off of. That Zedu is also linked to a server that is up at the top on a shelf. In the back is kind of where my networking stuff is. So we continue our way down. We got a Wii U here, and then below that I have the super popular Panasonic 4K player. This is the Panasonic DP UB820. On top of that, this is the Logitech Harmony Hub. That's part of the universal remote. Then we got a drawer here just to keep remotes and stuff in. Extra storage. Here is a AC Infinity fan system. It has a thermometer in the rack to keep everything at a set temperature, keep the electronics safe. If you don't have any cooling equipment in your rack, these electronics put off a lot of heat, and that can hurt the lifespan of your products if they're always running really hot. Below that is the main brains of the operation. This is a Marantz SR6015 surround sound receiver. This has 9 channels of amplification in it, but then it can process up to 11 channels of speakers. So with that, I'm actually only running my Dolby Atmos speakers off of this currently, so 4 small speakers. Here I have the Monolith 7X amplifier. This amplifier is running all my bed layer speakers, which is 7 speakers. So that's my LCRs, my surrounds, and my rear surrounds are all running off of the amplifier. Below that's another Panamax power conditioner, and then below that just some extra space to keep growing the hobby. With this, I plan to eventually add another amplifier and go the full route of separates, getting a surround sound processor. I love the Marantz, so I'm still considering Marantz. I also like the Anthems that I've heard, so that's kind of where I'm at, to go with one of those processors and get another amplifier to run fully on the processors. Let's check out the back. All right, now if you come to the back, kind of a organized mess-ish. So here with the back of the rack, you can see I got all the wires routed. Could be better, of course. So we'll get back in here, especially as I upgrade components. But the main thing is you want to try to separate your power cables from your audio and video cables. All my speaker wires, HDMIs, are running up here, up and out, and then they go up into this wall and up into the attic to run to the speakers and the projector, subwoofers in the movie room. Power cables are running down the left side here, going to the power conditioner, and then the power conditioner power cable is coming out at the bottom. Just a closer look here. Back of the receiver. Here's the back of the amplifier. So that's it for our theater tour. I appreciate you guys tuning in, watching. If you have any questions, let us know in the comments section. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe.